Okay, nako magandang gabi ho sa inyo lahat. Good evening, welcome to the program. Ito ho ang Legal Advice Corner. Ako po si Sunny Laragan. Ang makakasama ho ninyo, pero hindi ho ako ang pinaka-main kumbaga host ho rito sa programa na to. Kasama lang ho ako rito, parang alalay lang. But good evening, welcome to the program. It's the 25th of August 2020. Welcome to another edition of Legal Advice Corner. Kung meron kayong nais na malaman about sa batas, sa law, dito ho, no, na apektado ang mga buhay ninyo dito po sa United Kingdom. Ito po ang palatuntunan para ho sa inyong lahat. Ayan, ipakikilala ko siyempre yung talagang star of the show, yung ating kumbaga eksperto ho sa larangan ho ng batas, no, ng law dito ho sa United Kingdom. Ito po ay walang iba kundi yung ating pinakamamahal na abogada sa Legal Advice Corner, walang iba kundi si Attorney DANNA QUINTO. Attorney, magandang gabi sa iyo.
Magandang gabi, Mr. Laragan. Maayong gabi sa inyo tanan. Magandang gabi, Europe. Kasing ganda ng bagong gupit mo, Mr. Laragan.
Yes,
bagong trim eh.
Okay, lahat na pati aking yes, hindi siguro I don't know kasi siguro parang nabibigatan na ako sa hair ko, masyado mahaba, no? But thank you very much for saying na for complimenting me do sa aking gupit, no? Ikaw, napaka as ever, very bright ang smile and you bring sunshine to everybody's life, no? Pagka nandito nag-show tayo, nakikita nila yung lagi nakangiti na ating abogada, no? Eksperto, mahusay, beauty and brains, so it's a perfect combination, and that's what makes us proud na you're part of our team dito, no? So, kumusta? How was your day nga pala? How was your day? Malakas ang hangin sa Southwest London. I don't know sa lugar mo kung nasaan ka, sa opisina. Kumusta ang lagay ng panahon?
Kabaliktaran ng sunshine na sinasabi natin for a few weeks na. Nakabalik na yung blazer. Dahil hindi na tayo 30 degrees dito. It does feel a little bit like Pilipinas pa rin kasi grabe yung ulan, almost monsoon season. Tapos yung wind din, kanina, it was a busy day. Habang nagmi-meeting kami, maririnig mo talaga yung parang bagyo na eh.
Oh.
So yeah, it's been a very fruitful day. It's been a
that's good.
Tuesday pa lang. But yeah, so galing straight from work. Minsan gawa tayo ng all in a day's work na video para makita naman nila na hindi lang petiks-petiks sa mga abogado.
Yes. Well,
Yeah.
alam namin na we can just imagine, no? Kung gaano ka kasipag attorney dahil ikaw hindi ka lang ordinaryong abogada, no? Ikaw ang head ng litigation at the same time, ikaw ang partner ng Deo Volente, no? DV Solicitors. Kaya that makes us proud, and we could just imagine the workload that you have, no, and a lot of people under you, no. So I could just imagine siguro, no. Ilan ba ang tao na sa'yo, more or less?
It's a pleasure. Kumbaga ngayon na may trabaho ka at nakakatulong ka, it's a privilege these days na alam mo yun, mahirap ang sitwasyon ng lahat ng tao ngayon, and I think it's yung position at the moment na as you said, nakakabigay tayo ng informasyon sa community. I think I'm very, very grateful. Hindi iniinda ang busy na schedule. But I'll be seeing my friends sa Surrey tomorrow. So early shout out. So,
Tomorrow. It's a midweek. Tomorrow, midweek.
Yeah, midweek kasi yun yung day off nila. So ako yung nag-adjust.
Okay. So all the way from north, parang northwest na part ng sabihin na natin London area. Hindi, Bedford kaya. So ano ba ang Bedford? Is it northwest?
Yeah, quite far, 2.5 hours away, all the way to Surrey. May malaking community pa tayo doon. So childhood friends ko. So yeah.
Pero which part? Because when you say Surrey, Surrey is ang edge niya nasa mga Richmond and all the way there to mga Frimley, mga mahaba yan, malaki yan eh.
Horsham.
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 Okidoki. All right.
Yeah.
Okay. So malaki kasi ang Surrey. Okay. So attorney, ano ang pag-uusapan? Anong gusto mong ba itatalakay mo for tonight?
So may quick legal update talking about care homes. May quick legal update lang ako kasi it's been in the news for the last 2 days. It's just a report. The medyo affected tayo kasi malaki yung portion ng community natin na parte ng industriya na to ng care home industry.
homes,
So I'm
yes.
just going to give an update on that one and a little bit of analysis. Tapos open mic tayo, open session Q&A kasi minsan hindi natin na-insert yung mga questions dahil naubusan tayo ng panahon. So today, please send your questions just
Yes.
sa the comment section
Oo.
or text nyo kay Sunny. So we'll have a bit more time today para magbigay
Sige.
ng on-air legal advice as much as we can. Kapag medyo sensitive, you can email or pwedeng tumawag. And as you know, Mr. Sunny, we do really try to help. Hindi lang po lip service. We do try to help. If we can. So,
Sige.
yun din sinasabi kong report sa care home. May lumabas, Mr. Sunny, I think Monday pa lang, lumabas tong report from Queen's Nursing Institute kung
Yes.
ano yung
Oo.
impact sa care home industry ng policy ng government. And narinig ko na to, I wouldn't break confidence. Narinig ko na nung pandemic, nung kasagsagan ng pandemic, may mga nababalik yung NHS o yung government natin, talagang nilagay nila sa sabi dun sa report is yung care homes were under a lot of pressure kasi binabalik ang mga residente. So nagkasakit, inadmit sa hospital yung iba. Binabalik yung mga residente na hindi pa na test ng COVID, untested COVID patients. Binalik talaga, pinush na ibalik. Or, ito yung mas malala, binalik na positive. So that's may report. If you look at Queen's Nursing Institute report, may mga ganong insidente. And the second one is that may incidents din na nung kasagsagan talaga, nung may mga sakit na yung mga taga-care homes, I don't know kung dahil full capacity na yung ibang mga hospital, may no admissions policy na sila. So that's very worrying as well. And the third one, dito ako pinaka-worried. It's on this report na in some instances, may blanket policy yung mga other sectors, yung nilabas nila na either GP or NHS. Bigla nagka-blanket policy ng do not resuscitate, which raises ethical and moral and legal questions. And yung blanket DNR na to, nag-a-apply sa specific na demographic, either age, yung mga elderly, or yung mga may learning disability, which ako personally, it's really just worrying. So, may mga instances, may report na ganito ang mga naging impact sa care homes na maraming kababayan natin ang witness o naapektuhan. And if you're a care home operator, ang naririnig din namin is that it has affected unang-una yung mortality rate dun sa care home. And pangalawa is yung perception ng care home, which used to be, dito mo ilalagay sa safe place, dito mo ilalagay yung ipapaubaya yung mga mahal mo sa buhay at a certain age in their lives. And that particular policy ng government na, kayo na bahala sa inyo, that has an effect for a longer period. Yun yung parang sinasabi ng lot of care home operators. The second is yung mga relatives ng mga namatay na care residents na naapektuhan na either nitong binalik sa care home, hindi na test, binalik sa care home na positive sila, or hindi sila inadmit ng hospital kahit na ine-escalate na ng care home to a hospital admission. And the third most worrying is that naapektuhan sila ng blanket do not resuscitate, either dahil matanda sila o dahil may learning disability sila. So with those, we talk about negligence before we talk about yung mga possible cases. What we're doing now is we're reviewing cases as they come along on a case-to-case basis. So kung naapektuhan, I'm just saying kasi may mga nag-inform sa amin, and it's very much in the news. Kung naapektuhan, as usual, feel free to contact us sa email or sa telephone, and we are prepared to review cases as they come along independently. So I just want to say that, and I just want to point that out. So yeah, Back to you, Mr. Laragan, for open session. As I promised, longer time today to answer questions, longer time today to help out, and longer time today na makapagbigay ng informasyon for specific kababayans who probably we didn't get a chance to answer the questions in the last few weeks.
Okay, yes, so we're opening our yung ating lines for questions. Kung meron kayong mga gusto tanong, andyan lang ho sa either i-PM niyo ho ako or ilagay ho niyo dyan sa ating sa ating message board din sa ating sa Pinoy Radio UK, no? Oo, ayan.
We had questions about wills last week na parang nakulangan ata tayo ng I don't know kung nakalangan na-answer naman ata natin. But we're hoping to have a longer session.
Oo. Halo. Minsan may mga tanong. Teka muna, batiin ko lang ito muna bumabati sa atin si Darmin. One of your, kumbaga, natin to, one of our avid friends and fans, no? And viewers, no? Sabi niya, good evening, Kuya Sunny, and beautiful. May beautiful pa. Attorney DANNA, ayun. Si Marie Fairbank bumabati sa atin, no? Oo. Ayan, okay. Ayan, nung isang araw, last week ba yun, napag-usapan natin yung will, di ba? Yung mga will ba last week?
Yeah. Last week yung may mga nagre-raise ng question about what either wala sila sa will or may isa na sabi niya masyado daw mabagal yung pag-distribute ng mana. Pwede mong tanggalin, pwede mong applyan na tanggalin yung mga executor ng will na yon para either ilagay ikaw or somebody else na gagawa ng mas mabuting trabaho in terms of distributing kung ano man yung dapat i-distribute.
How do you call that? Yung taga-tanggap attorney? Siya ba ang recipient? Beneficiary?
Executor.
No. Executor yata yung taong parang inatasan. Beneficiary, di ba? Because doon sa kwento yata nung last week ba yata na yun, siya ang parang full beneficiary ng kanyang asawa. Kanya nga lang nagtatagal yata doon sa asawa, sa mother-in-law ba o parents-in-law?
Yeah. Parents-in-law ata. Sinasabi na COVID, ginagawang rason yung COVID, ginagawang rason yung, I don't know, siguro minsan sasabihin nila, alam mo, yung classic ngayon is, mababa pa yung value. Hintayin natin tumaas yung value pagkatapos ng crisis. The problem is, nobody knows kung kailan magtatapos yung crisis. Ngayon ba, in 6 months' time, in 1 year's time, in 2 years' time. So, hindi sila, kumbaga kung hindi naman reasonable, yung hindi justified yung excuse nila, hindi dapat yun. Hindi tamang ibigay nila yung i-delay nila yung mana ng isang beneficiary. And the beneficiary can apply to the court to say, they're not doing their job properly, please, can you remove them and replace them with someone else?
Attorney, ito, linawin lang natin. Gusto ko lang from a very innocent, siguro wala talaga alam, no? Kumbaga, magtatanong lang, for example, magtatanong nga ako. Halimbawa, mag-asawa, no? Tapos may 2 anak, halimbawa.
Yeah.
Pagka namatay, yung lalaki namatay, mag-asawa, meron silang parehong properties. Sa principle ba, sa batas, paano ang hatian na yung bang property na mag-asawa, kalahati doon ang yung surviving spouse, tapos if ever kung i-liquidate yan, I don't know kung how do you call it, liquidate o magkaayos-ayos, maghiwa-hiwalay o magkaroon ng shares, ano share ng mother, ano share ng dalawa?
Now, ang starting point po muna doon is dadaan po muna tayo sa property law. Titingnan mo, meron ditong kakaibang feature ang English law. Tinatawag nila na joint tenancy or tenants in common. Now, pag bibili kayo ng bahay, tatanungin kayo ng abogado mo kung ano doon yung pipiliin mo. Yung isa doon, yung joint tenants, pag namatay ka, automatic, di bali ng may will o wala or whatever, automatic na magte-transfer yung shares mo dun sa kabilang tao. So, if, say for example, si Maria tsaka si Pedro,
bibili na bahay, tapos
si Pedro, namatay si Pedro, automatic yung 50% ni Pedro mapupunta kay Maria. Hindi yun about will, hindi yun about inheritance, ha? Purely property law yun dahil pinili mo yung option ng joint tenants. Now, pag tenants in common yung pinili mo, ang mangyayari nun is pareho 50-50 kayo. Pag namatay si Pedro, yung 50% ni Pedro is under yung sinabi natin estate ni Pedro. Aalamin ng korte kung ano ba yung mga sole na mga na asset ni Pedro as individual, as an individual. So kahit mag-asawa sila, andyan pa rin yung executor. Sasabihin, ito yung gagawa ng listahan yung executor. Ito yung assets ni Pedro. Yung 50% ng bahay, kasi pinili nila tenants in common. So merong exact measurement kung ano yung ano ni Pedro doon, yung ownership, yung shares niya doon. So that goes to the list ng executor. 50%. Meron pa siyang lupa sa Pilipinas, meron siyang shares, stock sa Google or sa Apple. So they'll have to collect the assets. Now, paano na i-distribute is, may will ba? Kung may will, they have to follow the will. So kung ano yung sinabi, how much kay Maria, how much yun sa dalawang anak nila, so they have to follow that. If walang will, then they have to follow yung sinasabi namin intestacy rule. So, pag ganon, it goes to Maria as the surviving spouse. Yun yung ano doon. So,
everything goes to Maria? Everything goes to Maria, attorney?
I think, hindi ako sa intestacy rules, but my elementary thinking is it goes to Maria as the surviving spouse. Yes. It's a firm yes, actually. Yeah. Goes to Maria.
Paano yung mga anak? Kunyari, may anak sila. Okay. Teka muna, gusto ko lang linawin. Hindi ko alam to ngayon. Ko lang nalalaman yung mga tenancy in common. At saka, ano ba yun?
Very
at saka, ano
important.
ba isa kanina? Yung unang-una? Ano yung una?
Joint tenancy po at tenancy in common. I'll tell you kung paano mo malalaman yan sa titulo mo. Either call us and
so teka muna, hindi ba dinidiscuss yan when you go buy a house, for example, mag-asawa kayo, you love one another, syempre, bili tayo ng bahay, bili tayo ng bahay, tapos alam ba nila at the outset, ano yun, tatanungin ka ba ng I don't know, lawyer siguro, dahil ba gumagawa niyan yung mga conveyancing solicitors, halimbawa, tinatanong ba kayo, ito for in common or ano una ulit?
Joint tenancy
and tenancy in common, no? Joint tenancy. Tinatanong ba yan sa una?
They should. From experience, and ayoko i-criticize yung Woodlawn people. Yun ang unang nakakalimutan nila. Yun talaga yung una na, sobrang required ang abogado i-explain ang joint tenancy and tenancy in common. Dahil nakita mo, mamamatay ka. Paano kung nag-divorce kayo? Paano kung hindi kayo in good terms? Tapos nakalimutan mo na joint tenants pala kayo. Napunta na dun sa ex-husband or ex-wife mo yung 50% mo. I mean, you wouldn't really, patay ka na. But, you know the idea kung hindi mo alam.
Dan, siyempre, kunyari, lalo na.
Parang, hindi mo, akala mo, nalagay mo na sa will mo. Actually, hindi pala siya part ng listahan ng executor kasi automatic na napunta doon kay Maria. So, it should.
Okay. So, teka muna. Linawin lang natin. Pag joint tenancy, automatic, it goes to the other spouse. Correct. Okay? But pag tenancy in common, 50-50 pa rin yan. Kumbaga, hindi pa rin. So, si Maria, how can Maria get that? Hindi na, no? Sa law, by law, hindi she would be prevented from getting the other half, kunyari 50%, if it were tenancy in common. Ganun ba ang mangyayari, attorney?
No, ang tenancy in common po is 50-50. I mean, patay na po siya, di ba? Mag-aano lang po yung joint tenancy. Yung joint tenancy, kung namatay na si Pedro.
Kung namatay si Pedro, ano differs sa dalawa na yan? Tenancy in common arrangement or joint tenancy arrangement?
Yes. So, sinasabi mo yung 50%. So, sa tenancy in common, halimbawa, si Pedro at Maria is brothers and sisters. Hindi sila mag-asawa. Okay?
Hindi, kung mag-asawa, Tony. Kung mag-asawa.
Yeah, it doesn't matter.
It doesn't matter? Sige, okay. So it doesn't matter.
This is a form of ownership. So, this is when yung sinasabi mo, it will make sense. Minsan, sabihin mo, the normal yung joint tenancy, ginagamit ng mag-asawa. But sometimes, bumibili yung magkapatid. na nasabay sila. And that's when tenants in common is very usual. So sasabihin ko 50-50 tayo, investment property natin to sabay na kalahati tayo. Pag namatay si Pedro, yung share ni Pedro, kanya yon. Walang habol si Maria yon. Si Maria yun. Kasi si Pedro yun. Yeah, hindi na. Kasi 50-50 nga. Yun yung dapat in-explain ng abogado ng conveyancer nila. Pag tenants in common, hatian talaga kayo niyan, 50-50. Pag joint tenants, kung sino yung unang namatay, mapupunta dun sa kadibala automatically yung share niya.
So okay, sa situation ng unang nasabi mo, tenancy in common, sa situation na yun, paano? For example, wala nga magkapatid, si Maria at si Pedro, namatay si Pedro, halimbawa. Pero yung share ni Pedro hindi makuha ni Maria, sabi mo nga, dahil fifth tenancy in common. Ano ang mangyayari? Let's say walang anak si Pedro, hindi naman nag-asawa, wala, no? Kapatid lang sila, single pareho.
Okay. Dadaan muna ng will. So, pag namatay, dadaan muna ng will. Kung sasabihin mo, baka bigyan ni Pedro sa best friend niya o kaya sa charity. So, yun ang dadaan ng law.
Kung wala. So, wala yun? Okay.
Wala will, wala siyang intestacy. Rule ng intestacy naman ang mapapalo, which is sa kapatid. You're right, sa kapatid mapupunta. Pero kailangan mong daanan yun. Kailangan mong daanan yung mga pit stop na yun.
So gagastos pa siya. It has to go through a legal process para makuha niya yung kalahati na supposedly.
Hindi naman legal process. Automatic mabibest po sa kanya yun. Hindi dahil sa tenancy or joint tenancy. Mabibest sa kanya dahil sa wills and probate law. Na kanya yung automatic kasi walang will, walang surviving children. So kanya yon under the intestacy law. Ang property law muna ang dadaanan. Property law muna ang dadaanan. So joint tenants pa kayo at tenants in common. Pag tenants in common kayo, property to ni Pedro. We'll have to naalala mo po yung listahan ko. Hahanapin ng executor kung ano yung property ni Pedro. Property ba? So, it's yung sinabi mong scenario, property ni Pedro, pero napunta kay Maria dahil walang will si Pedro. Pero kung may will si Pedro, pwede mapunta sa iba.
Okay. Well, sabihin lang natin, halimbawa, mag-asawa, bumili ng property. Hindi ko alam kung joint tenancy or whatever. Pwede ba yun? Mag-asawa? Pwede rin tenancy in common?
Marami po.
May gano'n na?
Marami po.
Alright. Kasi ako, nakaranas akong bumili ng property nung aking previous, yung aking ex ko, no? And eventually I had to buy her out, no? Dahil siyempre, maghihiwalay kami. Pero hindi ko alam na from the beginning kung anong klaseng arrangement. Saan ba nalalaman yan? Doon sa kontrata, malalaman ba kung...
sa title po.
Sa title?
Pero hindi sasabihin na joint tenancy. Para lang guluhin kayo ng law. May wording doon. Sinasabi, may Form A restriction. So, tanong nyo na lang sa
Pinatanggal ko na yung pangalan eh. So, solo ko ng pangalan. But anyway, let's go into a scenario. For example, bumili ng property attorney, no? And say, mag-asawa, syempre, nagkaanak. And then, mga 30 years later, halimbawa, malalaki na yung mga anak, dalawang anak, halimbawa, 30 anyos, 32 years old, halimbawa. At syempre, gusto nilang namatay yung tatay. Can they insist on getting their share of whatever it is na naiwan ng tatay? Sabihin na lang natin, yung bahay and a few properties. Pero yung bahay, halimbawa, or sa mga ari-arian, ano ang share talaga ng anak? Let's say namatay ang spouse, would the surviving spouse get the whole of it or one half of it? And of the one half that would be divided between the two children? Meron bang specific na mga hatian yan?
Wala po unless in intestacy. So pag intestacy, si spouse lahat ng property niya. Pag
kay spouse lahat, wala yung anak, walang property anak.
Kung walang will po.
Kung walang will. So let's say walang will, namatay yung asawa, tapos estranged si nanay doon sa dalawang anak halimbawa. Hindi mapupunta doon sa dalawang anak, walang share?
Wala. It goes to the spouse first. Yung pwede nilang, kung minemaintain sila, kasi sasabihin ng law, kung talagang gusto kayong bigyan ng tatay nyo, edi gumawa sana siya ng will. However, remember po yung diniscuss natin, kung minemaintain ka at financially responsible sa'yo yung namatay, nag-assume ng responsibility sa'yo, binibigyan ka ng monthly na pera. pwede ka, kahit wala ka sa will, kahit wala ka sa intestacy, pwede kang kumatok. Pwede mong sabihin na, hang on a minute, may claim ako under Inheritance Act provision for dependents. So that's yung backdoor kung dependent ka. Only if dependent ka. Kung wala ka sa will at wala ka dun sa kumbaga hierarchy, wala kang makukuha as a non-dependent. Kung wala ka dun sa ano na yon, sa hierarchy na yon.
Okay.
But as I've said, daan muna ng property law. It's very important yung joint tenants and tenants na yan. And this is something else na hindi din quite known na information. So, pag nag-umpisa kang joint tenants, Mr. Laragan, halimbawa kayo, hope you don't want, kayo na ng ex mo, and then nag-breakdown yung relationship. Pero joint tenants pa rin kayo. Normally, ang unang ginagawa namin is gagawin namin tenants in common. Kasi just in case may unang mamatay, baka gusto nilang, ang premise nun, more likely, dahil baka ayaw nilang automatic na mabigay dun sa kabila. So, pwede mong i-convert yon to tenants in common. Kung nag-umpisa kayong joint tenancy, and madali lang yun. Madali lang i-convert to tenants in common. Kahit hindi mo kailangan ng agreement ng kabila.
Okay. Attorney, may mga tanong dito, no? So may bumabati, may nagtatanong, no? Okay. Teka muna, basahin ko lang 'to, no? Nasa gilid ako. Sige, pakikita lang kita para mabasa ko, makapag-side view ako. Okay, attorney, ayan, bumabati sa si Sharon Ferrer, no? De Guzman Ferrer, bumabati. Good evening, Kuya Sunny and Attorney Dana. Ayan, bumabati sa iyo. Si Marie Fairbank, good evening, Sunny Laragan, no? Tapos hindi ko alam, Dan Markinson, good evening po sa inyo. Bago to, ngayon walang nakita to. Kinson to, Kinson. Oo, and si Angie Menodin. Ayan, si Angie Menodin, sabi niya, good evening, Kuya Sunny, from Malaga, Spain. We're watching here. We love watching the show, no? Okay, thank you.
I love Malaga.
Napunta ka ba diyan, attorney, sa ano? Ano ba yung pangalan ng mayaman na lugar, yung ano? Ano ba 'yun? Yung mga mayayaman nandoon. Sa Malaga, yung South, yung magkakatabi yan eh. Malaga. Sandali. Ito, basahin ko lang. Si Marie Fairbank. Okay, Marie Fairbank, may tanong, is there really a chance to avail, hindi, immigration ng tanong niya, no? Immigration. Hindi yung immigration to, ito, is 50-50 available even without a will? Ayun. Is 50-50 daw available without a will? Teka muna, Marie, mali kaya tanong, hindi immigration to si ito yung legal advice corner ni Attorney Dana Quinto. Ayan. So, ano yung 50-50? Pero sabi mo, 'di ba, pagka yung kanina na mag-asawa, everything goes to the pag intestate, without a will, should I say. Pag walang will, it goes to the wife, 'di ba? The whole of it? Yung 50%, oo.
Pero yun yung last week natin, Mr. Laragan. Remember, pwede mong i-vary yung will kung agree yung beneficiary. So kung mabait yung nanay mo, pwede niyang ibigay sa'yo. So pwedeng i-vary yung may deed of variation yung mga ganyan kung agree naman lahat ng beneficiary. But I think ngayon ang pwedeng nating mabigay ng informasyon sa lahat ng mga homeowners dito is yung joint tenants. Parating nakakalimutan yan eh. Required yung mga abogado, yung conveyancer na i-explain sa inyo yan. Kung nakalimutan nyo kung joint tenants at tenants in common kayo, yung una, automatic joint tenants, pag namatay kayo, automatic na mapupunta sa asawa nyo. Or sa kabilang co-owner nyo, hindi nyo man siya asawa, kapatid nyo man siya, automatic na mapupunta sa co-owner nyo yung shares nyo. Hindi nyo pwedeng ipamigay sa will yon. Automatic yung mapupunta sa kanila. So kung hindi yun yung gusto nyo mangyari, you have to change that now. Yun yung joint tenancy. Kailangan automatic, as I've said, automatic, it will pass to the other owner. Tenants in common is 50-50, pwede mong ipamana yung share mo. So just bear that in mind. If in doubt, tanongin nyo yung conveyancer nyo or call us. It's easily verifiable sa land registry document. Alam nyo naman dito is sobrang easy kunin yung title nyo. It's on land registry. It's £3. You can find your title there. Hindi mo na kailangan nung sa atin yung may paper na deed, Mr. Sunny, yung sa atin na talagang nasa papel pa. Hindi na. Electronic na po lahat tayo. Most of the time, electronic na dito. Very, very rare na papel. Yun yung mga unregistered. Very rare na po yun. Most of the properties in the UK are electronically registered.
Okay, attorney, halimbawa, yung walang will na ginawa dati, pero at the last minute parang gumawa ng will. Yan ba, is there a form that has to be, or parang ritual or a procedure to be followed para maging effective? Halimbawa, ibig sabihin, may property yung yung isang kung sino man, tatay, no? Patay na asawa niya, so nasa kanya lahat. Yung mga anak niya, estranged siya, galit siya, hate niya. Wala pa siyang will at that particular moment. Let's say kunyari itong oras na ito gumawa siyang will, no? Tinago sa cabinet, sa aparador or sa ilalim ng kanyang desk, namatay. Yun na ba? Official na ba yun? O kailangan it has to go through a process na kailangan dumaan pa sa solicitor, dumaan pa sa, I don't know, kung sa Pilipinas, di ba? Para meron pa notarization. Ang will ba, pwede bang sinulat mo lang sa papel, i-honor na ng gobyerno?
Not necessarily. May sinasabi silang statutory will, but kailangan may witness yung will na for it to be officially, pwedeng challengeable yun kasi sasabihin hindi naman namin alam kung siya talaga yung gumawa nun or may nag-coerce lang sa kanya. And that's the reason why may 2 witnesses kailangan yung official na will. May mga instances na pwede nilang sabihin na yun yung, wala nang time, may yun yung pinaka best evidence ng intention niya. But that's the reason why sinasabi namin is it really is good practice na gumawa kayo ng proper will with the right formalities, i.e. may mga witnesses, may mga it's properly written. Hindi kailangan ng notary na may official na ipapa-notary. I think sa atin ganun. May mga will writers nga dito na draft your own will. It's may mga sometimes it's not kung very simple lang yung situation. Okay, may right time and place for those particular facilities. Although it's still good na mag-consult kayo with lawyers, with proper will writers para malaman nyo baka naman may better way to pass on yung estate nyo, to pass on yung property nyo. Taking into consideration taxes, hindi lang about doon, it's a whole advice. Yung tinatawag nila doon is estate planning. So my advice is to go to a lawyer. You build up the reason why it is an issue is because may mapapasa ka sa susunod na henerasyon. You want it to be properly administered. You want it to be properly given to kung sino man yung gusto mong makinabang nun. So part and parcel din nun is maayos na matransition yung ownership by proper legal documents and magkaroon ng proper tax estate planning. So with that alone, with those considerations, do seek proper legal advice. Huwag ilagay sa last minute kasi hindi lang yung kahit may yung sinasabi mo na mamamatay, yung meron kami tinatawag na deathbed will, kahit proper formalities, abogado na gumawa and all, minsan na-challenge pa rin yan kasi sasabihin, talaga bang composmentos yan na nasa tamang isip pa ba? So what I would say is kung hindi mo pa do it now, do it as early as possible. And pag may mga triggers, mga bagong nangyari sa buhay nyo, just reflect kung kailangan yung i-change yung will, update it, and refresh it. Hindi siya ganun kamahal or ka time consuming actually. And for you to invest on making sure na maayos mapapass on yung pinakamalalaking investment niyo sa buhay niyo, I think it's worth getting proper advice on that one. Tax advice, hindi lang legal advice, tax, accounting advice.
Okay. Attorney, may mga ano pa rito, no? Ito si, ano pangalan
May
to?
time pa.
Okay, si May, pero itong ano, si Amor, si Aaron Chris Mabanag, ibang-iba ang kanyang pinag-uusapan, no? Medyo malayo yata, something about immigration. Sorry, Aaron, ha? But sabi niya, hi, Ate Dan, do you have any update about the Home Office resuming their premium services for ILR application? Immigration yan, no? So, okay lang. Si Aaron Mabanag. Si Marie Fairbank sabi niya, before death of husband, the husband applied for a loan with the wife as guarantor. When the husband died, the bank
went after the wife.
Probably went after the wife. The wife is on benefits. Will the wife still pay the loan of the husband?
Now, two things, Don. So the reason why they're coming after the wife is not because of will. It's because the wife signed a
Guarantor, yeah.
guarantee. So that's first. The first one is kung liable yung wife. From that information, it is highly likely liable yung wife. Now the second point is about affordability. So when courts look at liability, they don't look at affordability. They look at liability first. So sasabihin nila, oh, I'm so sorry. From this guarantor's agreement, it is very clear na liable ka. However, so pag nalagay na establish na liable ka, the court will say, okay, ito yung figure na judgment kung it's likely na hindi mo ma-defend, may final figure ng judgment. The court will take account in terms of repayments, kung sasabihin, pwede ka magbigay ng evidence of affordability mo. So you could say, look, I can't afford this and that because I'm clearly on benefits, wala disposable income to pay it. But the fact na, and this is gonna sound very cool, the fact na hindi afford, it wouldn't impact yung first question, which is, liable ka pa sa first instance. So that one, unfortunately, because he signed a guarantor, personal guarantee, it doesn't matter na nag-pass away na yung husband, you're still liable. What you can do is negotiate a payment plan on the basis na magbigay ka ng evidence ng affordability. Means mo. So yeah, that's what I would say.
Ayan. Okay. So, ayan, tuloy-tuloy pa rin tayo may mga questions pa rin dito. Marami kang questions ngayon. Marami ka suki ngayong gabi na to. Marami kang questions. Sige, babasahin ko lang ha. Nasa gilid ko kasi hindi ko makita sa harapan, napuputol eh. Okay. Ito, may tanong dito. Okay, etong okay, another question. What happened to the second wife what happens to the second wife if the husband who have the money and property made a will without what happens to the second wife pala siguro? What happens to the second wife if the husband who has the money and property made a will without the wife's knowledge that all the husband's parang owns goes to the children from the first marriage? Walang share ng second wife. Pwede ba yan? Ayun. Pwede ba yun? So parang may namatay yung first wife, nagkaroon ng second wife, may children from the first marriage, initsipwera sa will yung second wife, yung current wife. Correct.
Nangyayari. So first and foremost, Classic Inheritance Act 1975 claim. So kung second wife ka, you live with the deceased husband, he's financially responsible for you, or nag-share kayo ng expenses, you're codependent with each other, tapos biglang initsipwera ka sa will, you may have a claim under Inheritance Act. Ito yung mga situation, Mr. Laragan, and sa kababayan natin na tinatry i-balance ng law yung parang moral, he should have a moral duty na tinalikuran niya. So you can claim under the Inheritance Act 1975.
Oh, that's good news, no? That's good news maski paano, no?
On the
Magandang
basis
balita
ng
yan.
may financial link kayo nung yung kumbaga before namatay yung husband mo, may financial link kayo, sinusuportahan ka, you're in the
Oo.
same home, tapos for some reason or another talagang initsapera ka. Probably, sometimes, maybe na nagkaroon ng outside influence, we don't know, but may claim ka.
May
That's
claim, pwede. Oo.
may claim. And that's one of, sa amin, for me, one of my favorite areas of law.
Teka muna. Claim saan? For example, may property, hindi ko masyadong kabisado rito. Sa Pilipinas kasi, may tinatawag na parafermal property, the property of the woman that she brings into the marriage, yung gains or fruits of for example, parafermal property, may lupa na pinamana yung magulang ng babae sa babae. Halimbawa, na napangasawa ko, kunyari, mag-asawa kami, yung mga lupa na yon, sa kanya yun, nang dinala niya papunta sa marriage, parafermal property, wala akong habol doon. Ang pwede ko lang mahabol doon, yung fruits of that. For example, merong mga inaani doon. So yung fruits of the property of the woman goes into the conjugal partnership of gains. Yung conjugal property, okay. Dito, yung sinasabi noon, halimbawa, asawa, pagdating niya, napangasawa niya itong second wife niya. Ibig sabihin, yung hinahabol niya, pwede niya habulin pati yung dating mga properties o yung properties lang na nabuo nung nag-asawa sila?
This is Inheritance Act, diba? This is namatay na po yung namatay na. We're not talking about divorce, but I can talk about divorce.
No. What I mean, hindi, namatay yung first wife, di ba? So ngayon may second wife. Ngayon, naggumawa ng will yung, di ba pinag-uusapan natin, yung lalaki at binigay doon sa mga anak. Sabi mo, pwedeng habulin yata. Ano pwedeng habulin itong second wife?
Lahat ng assets.
Lahat ng assets.
Yung namatay na tao, halimbawa si Pedro. Let's use Pedro again. Namatay si Pedro, hindi niya binigyan yung second wife niya. Kahit na magkasama sila sa isang bahay, he was financially responsible for Maria, na second wife niya. Binigay niya lahat dun sa previous children niya. Si Pedro, anak mayaman from he inherited a huge chunk as well of ancestral money. Now, yung wording ng 1975 Act, pag namatay si Pedro, ang pot na pwede i-claim is assets, yung estate. Hindi siya naglalagay ng differentiation, like what you said, na ang pwede lang i-claim is fruits of the inherited property. Ang i-consider ng korte is the assets of Pedro, no matter where they came from. So assets ni Pedro, whether inherited man yan, galing sa own labor niya, yun yung i-consider ng korte. I'm not saying na mapupunta lahat dun kay Maria. I'm saying when the court considers everything in the pot, hindi niya i-consider na non-marital yan or hindi. The court considers the net asset of the estate. Wow, so it doesn't under the will. Now, I think what you're looking at and may similar na situation din yan sa divorce, kasi similar din tayo, because the court would look at ano ba yung makukuha ni Maria kung nag-divorce sila. May ganong similar na metaphor yung analysis ng korte. And similarly sa divorce, Mr. Laragan, is yung pwede ka lang mag-ring fence, this is a technical term that we use, ng non-matrimonial property kung yung reasonable needs ng party both party ay na-meet na. But it's very, very hard to ring fence kung ginamit ng pamilya we call it mingling. Kung ginamit na ng pamilya yung namana mong property, say for example, namana mo yung bahay sa magulang mo and ginawang family home ni Pedro at ni Maria or ninyo. It's very hard to say kay Pedro na hindi yon family property dahil ginamit na ng pamilya niya kahit inherit niya yun sa great grandfather niya. So very hard, walang ano yung distinction dito, hindi agad-agad nare-ring fence yung mga na inherit mo just because na inherit mo sila. Yun yung ano ng law sa UK.
Attorney, okay.
Whether before the Inheritance Act.
Okay, hindi halimbawa, yung lalaki matagal ng balo, 'di ba? Kunyari halimbawa, no, namatay yung wife niya, may mga anak siya, pero that time nakagawa siya ng will. Here comes a new na in love, may banibagong wife, second wife. Hindi nakagawa ng will. Makakahabol pa rin ba?
Kung wife sila, yeah.
Ganun na, maski,
similar.
okay, maski bago-bago lang, o maski ano pa lang, no? Maski walang nabago o ginawang will.
Financial responsibility, assumed financial responsibility.
Okay. All right.
Kung hindi mo binigyan yung taong yun, na inassume mo yung responsibility shortly before the death, even at death, you can't turn away and completely iwan sila sa ere. So it doesn't matter na matagal. We had a similar case. We had without breaking confidentiality. Yeah, I think I can give generic balo, elderly children. And ito ikakasal pa lang sila ha. But this person, yung namatay, assumed responsibility dun sa naiwan yung partner for 4 to 5 years, a long time. Talagang steady na yung relationship na yun talaga may pera. Yun talaga siya yung taga bayad ng lifestyle nila. May settlement na nangyari on the basis na 1970. Hindi pa nga to kasal. Malapit nang ikasal. I think a month before the wedding, namatay yung breadwinner na balo.
Ano yun? Nakakuha. Okay, nakakuha. Okay. So, pwede pala rito, no? Kunyari, may iba, ito, parang ano na lang, parang comic na lang ito siguro. Pwede pala sadyain pala, parang comedy, sadyain pala na maghanap ka na medyo matanda-tanda na, mamatay na, maski ba may will pa yan pala sa mga anak niya, pwede ka rin pa rin pala makahabol. Walang problema. Di ba?
Well, I can't comment on
kaya nga hindi nga sa'yo, sa akin na lang, parang ano na lang pwede, ano? Di ba? Okay, teka muna, may mga tanong pa rito. Ano yun?
Go for it.
Ano, sorry?
Hello?
Sabi mo, go for it? Ano sabi mo?
Meron pa ba?
Hindi, okay, meron pa. Ito. Ito. Si Nancy, ano yata, si Nicole. Si Nicole, andito, may sinasabi siya. Mababait naman, ito yata yung last week yata, attorney. Sabi niya, mababait naman po yung mga brother and sis-in-law ko na mga executors ng will in which ako lang ang solo beneficiary. Okay? Ng property. And I am also living in it. No? Nakatira daw siya. Worried lang ako na baka may time element ba ang pag-execute ng will. Meron ba? Ayan, may ganun tanong pa. Meron ba? Ayan.
Wala naman, but as much as you can, merong duty yung mga executor to deal with it promptly. Hindi naman maano yun, but it's more of hindi siya deadline, good practice siya na ma-deal accordingly, makakuha ng grant of probate kasi hindi, kumbaga yung mga kontrata sa electrics, unless obviously na transfer na sa'yo, it's just good practice na matransfer yung assets as soon as possible. Purely because yun nga, yung namatay wouldn't be able to deal with it anymore. Yung executor yung nagdi-deal with it. So they have to deal with those as promptly as possible. Kung mabait naman, okay, no worries. As I've said, pag-usapan kung, what's the held up, baka COVID lang din talaga, as you rightly pointed out. Walang time limit, but do it as soon as possible.
Okay, attorney, bumabati sa iyo si Emeline Rafael, no? Bumabati sa atin. Good evening, Sunny and attorney DANNA Quinto, no? Ito'y number 1 fan mo to, si Emeline Rafael, no? May additional follow-up question si Nancy Amores Nicole. Sabi niya, Another question, hindi pa na-execute ang will in favor of me dito sa UK. Pwede na ba akong gumawa ng will? So hindi pa sinabi, hindi pa nalilipat sa kanya. Pwede na ba siya gumawa ng will? I understand, pwede ako gumawa ng will na may dalawang witnesses at pwede ba na ang magiging beneficiary ko ay ang family ko sa Pilipinas?
Uh, yes, I think so. Ang pwede mong, it's with the wording kung paano i-word. So, pwedeng sabihin na lahat ng estate mo. So, you don't have to be exclusive kung ano yung estate mo kasi nga i-divide mo siguro yon with family members. That is fine. I think that is fine. But it would be helpful kung ang executor mo ay taga dito. Kasi mas alam nila kung paano ayusin yung mga papel dito. However, still seek a legal advice. Hindi po ako hindi yun yung specialty ko, mag-draft ng will. But from my knowledge is that's fine. Good practice is yung executor mo taga dito and then make sure na alam ng executor mo yung mga details ng mga beneficiary mo. Updated details ng beneficiary mo. And depende sa wording ng will na yun. So, kung ano man yung estate mo, definition ng estate mo at that time na you pass away, yun naman yung mag-a-apply. So and that's the reason why whatever it is na dinideal nila in terms ng mana mo, it would be really helpful if they can deal with it as promptly as possible. Wala at this moment in time. Well, for us sa legal industry, it should be as far as possible back to normal.
Pero attorney kayo, dyan sa Deo Volente, sa DV Solicitors, lahat ho ng facets ng law, meron kayo, may mga, kumbaga, departments kayo. So, hindi mo ganon nga masyadong kabisado, pero you know, you've got this working knowledge of it. Pero dyan ba sa kumpanya nyo, merong kung sakaling may magsangguni sa nyo, at merong pwede mag-handle dyan?
We're a full service firm. We have yung wills and probate as well. It's a separate department. It's a separate area of law. I have a working knowledge. I have a working knowledge of dispute about wills. But in terms of drafting, we would give you yung best place advice would be given by that particular department.
Okay, all right. Pati mga criminal din, meron kayo, no? Criminal department, may mga law. Lahat ba?
Now at the moment, hindi na kami nagfo-focus sa criminal. It's just because of the particular, nasa civil kami. But we have partners. So yung mga networks namin, we can forward you to criminal matters.
Okay.
But we do conveyancing. Have a huge conveyancing department. We have a huge, I know it's Attorney Lira, but as I've said, we're full service. We do immigration as well. We do family. I also do family. I'm also the head of family department. I do family, divorce, Children Act proceedings, in financial dispute, family. It's pretty much a full service law firm.
Okay. Attorney, ito si Aaron, no? Chris Mabanag. Sabi niya, hi, Ate Dan. What if after a dissolution of a relationship, one of the partners then decided to just leave their co-owned property and resided to a new address without paying anything for months or years ever? Is there still a possibility of getting a 50-50 share?
There is a possibility of arguing about getting some shares. So, tinatawag namin yun na post-separation accrual. So, I would say, find out kung ano yung value ng property after dissolution, after ng separation, and deal with it straight away. Huwag mo nang patagalin. And you can argue na yung post-separation accrual is yours alone dahil wala siyang contribution. But before that, it would be important to find out, halimbawa, it was 5 years ago, so you'd have to find out the value of the property and the equity at that time. And you say anything after 5 years, it's a higher argument for you to say yung post-separation accrual is sa'yo lang. But anything before that, they'll probably say, "Oh, look, the value at that time was this. I have some share over that." So that's how I would go about it. I would say it would be good to get what we call a clean break order kung meron kayong financial entanglement sa ex nyo. It would be good just to say, look, we're gonna have to sort it out. We're gonna have to sort it out via this document that says wala na tayong claim sa isa't isa. We'll do a clean break and we'll never ever have a claim under Inheritance Act, yung favorite area of law ko, under Inheritance Act or Matrimonial Causes Act. Kasi kung wala kayong clean break, exactly like what Aaron said, there is always a possibility of saying, hindi pa na-deal yung finances. Yung post-separation accrual, pwede mong, mas malaki yung argument mo na sa'yo lang yon, but still, may little door pa rin para bumalik sa'yo yung ex mo. So, deal with it. If you are in a position, unfortunate position, na magsiseparate ka, magdi-divorce ka, it's a hard phase ng buhay mo, but deal with the finances, yung separation ng finances nyo as soon as possible. Huwag patagalin.
Okay, attorney, hindi ko alam kung ito ay tanong mula sa Pilipinas, no? Pero andito to si Emeline Rafael, one of your avid fans to, no? Sabi niya, tanong ko lang kay Attorney Danna na tungkol sa mga property na naiwan ng mother ko at dalawa silang magkapatid at underage pa ako noong mga 6 years old ako noong namatay ang mother ko at may mga property sila na magkakapatid dahil mga maliit pero dahil nga maliit pa ako nung namatay mother ko at nasa uncle ko ang mga titulo. Do I have the right to claim what my mother have or ganun? Teka muna, baka nasa Pilipinas to.
I'm not sure. I don't think that's a UK question.
Oh, it's not a UK question. Hindi pa pwede, no? Sabi naman ni
You
Edgar.
probably have Filipino lawyers.
Yes. Sa UK lang ho to, no? Hindi natin masasaklaw ang aabutin ng Pilipinas. Baka magalit yung mga nasa Pilipinas. Okay. Teka muna, Edgar Dwight, galing talaga ni Attorney DQ. Kita mo naman talaga. Galing talaga. Nancy Amores Nicole, sabi niya, okay, executor will be my own family member that lives in the UK, so she can facilitate it in favor of my would-be beneficiary in the Philippines?
Yeah, it would be someone. I would suggest, as a matter na good practice, it's someone who's here who can facilitate, na may link din sa Pilipinas, who can facilitate yung mga ano dito. As long as the property is here. Kung the property, yung mga most ng estate mo is here, yes, get someone from here.
Ayan,
na may kinakailangan.
Sorry, baka may sinasabi ka ba, Attorney?
Oh, no, that was it.
Okay na. Nagpapasalamat siya. Sabi niya, maraming salamat po for enlightening me on these questions I have. God bless po, Attorney Danna and Sunny. Ayan. Sabi naman ni RG Menodin, good evening sa maganda. Siya. Ito, makikita mo to. No? Maganda at matalino, Miss Attorney Danna Quinto. God bless you always. Madami po akong napupulot sa inyo sa programa ni Kuya Sunny. Hindi, programa ho niya to. Hindi akin to. No? Keep safe. Both of you, more power to your program, Kuya. Oy, thank you. Ito yung yung Legal Advice Corner. Yung Sunny Laragan Show, Monday, Wednesday, Friday. Okay. Edgar Duay, questions, Attorney DQ. May follow-up ang question parang follow-up question daw kay Aaron. Example lang, if me, Irene, ito asawa niya, siya daw at si Irene siguro, separate or divorce, and yung bahay namin, siya lang nagbabayad, but for years, ako pang nakilos, ako pang kumikilos as father and mother in our house, doing everything. In short, parang sa kanya yung parang labor, pag may inayo siguro, may Phoenix, sa kanya, siya gumagawa. So, okay, sandali. From the top. Follow-up ko lang po. Okay, so example lang, if me and Irene separated or divorced and yung bahay namin siya lang ang nagbabayad, but for years, ako pang nagkumikilos as father and mother in our house doing everything, siya bayad work and tulog lang gawa. Magiging 50-50 pa rin ba ang share namin sa bahay pag nag-divorce kami? Sample lang ha, for the sake of knowledge, hindi kami magdi-divorce. Pero ayan, halimbawa, siguro ang loan was taken out by the wife, siguro. Ganun ba yan? Kunyari,
no?
kunyari wife ba nag-take out yan ng loan? Kaya parang ganun siguro, no? It was the wife who took out the loan or the mortgage.
So
may right pa siya. Oo.
Yeah, kung halimbawa, husband and wife, Pedro and Maria, and yung property ay nasa kay Maria lang na name, but they're married, and for some reason yung isang party lang si Maria lang yung nagbabayad for whatever reason, but si Pedro ay tumutulong sa pag-alaga ng bata in terms of pag-ayos ng bahay. Actually, sinuwap lang natin yung gender roles. So usually yung husband yung nagbabayad, yung nanay yung nasa sinuwap lang natin. It's still the same. Yung starting point is yardstick of equality pa rin. And titingnan ng korte kung ano yung length of marriage nyo, yung sasabihin ng korte, yung isang spouse, wag natin lagyan ng gender para hindi magulo yung isang spouse, whoever he is, husband man or wife or wife or husband, titingnan is yung dalawang tao na to pumunta sa marriage with the view na isang unit sila, na magiging financially entangled sila, mas lalo na pag may bata. Because most of the time, someone's backseat, someone's career would always have to take backseat para maalagaan yung bata, maalagaan yung bahay, to take care of the household. And yun yung sinasabi, yun yung rason ng korte. Why the starting point? Bakit nila sinasabi na 50-50 muna? Kasi actually, may contribution yung kabila. Hindi man pera, but yung effort niya in terms of raising the family. So that's why starting point is 50-50. Hindi ko sinasabing 50-50 yung makukuha mo, but yun yung starting point ng analysis. So the fact na husband ka or wife ka, na ikaw yung nag-take ng role na hindi man breadwinner role, but the other role of taking care of the family. It doesn't mean na completely at a disadvantage ka. Actually, what you're saying is that yung relasyon na to, it generated a disadvantage to my career, and that's the reason why I want 50-50. Kasi I had to take a backseat para maalagaan yung pamilya. And now that we're divorcing, now I have to transition towards independence, and I need that 50-50 para masuportahan ako.
Yan, okay. Attorney, may tanong pa rito. Naku, napahaba tayo. Napasarap ang ating mga tatanong. Si Lina Regalado, attorney, sabi niya, can you recommend someone to do a will here in London? So, pwede na siguro yung law firm nyo, no?
Yeah,
tawagan ka na lang, no? Oo.
Tawagan na lang po. We can do the will. And hindi kailangan.
Wills. Oo.
Dito po.
Ayan, yan ang will. O kaya ito, pwede nilang tawagan ito, yan, 'di ba? Deo Solente, yan. Oo. Pero iba yung number diyan, ito mas direct ang number kay attorney talaga direct. Yan ang direct number mo, attorney, no?
Yung direct number ko. Day off po ako bukas, so just email me.
Oo, email lang. Oo. Pero wag niyo kang tawagan diyan para makipag-phone call kayo kay attorney, ha? Basta baka tawagan na.
Wait po.
Baka hindi, natutuwa siguro sa'yo. Parang mga fans mo yan. Bigla kang tawagan, attorney, kumusta ka na? Pwede bang magpa-autograph? O yan, di ba? Pwede rin yan. No? So, ayan. Okay. Nagpapasalamat si Emeline Rafael. Okay, thank you. Anyway, Attorney Dana and Sunny. Yes, oo nga. Mukhang Philippine matter yung sinasabi mo, Emeline, no? Oo. At saka, Edgar Duway, nasa name namin pareho. Ay, naman pala. Walang problema. Correct. Kasi, oo.
But even though wala sa name mo, pag matrimony, pagkasal kayo, it doesn't matter.
It doesn't matter.
Oh, it doesn't matter. Talagang may laban ka. May laban ng lower earning spouse dito.
Teka muna. May laban lower earning spouse. Attorney, bibili ng lupa. Yung mga prenuptial, pwedeng gawin yon? Kunyari, bago ikasal, nag-prenuptial. Teka muna, pwede ba mag-prenuptial? Di ba pag may prenuptial, may property na yung isa sa kanila, no? Pwede na i-prenuptial yun, di ba?
Opo,
Tapos kung
nakalagay
bumili
yun,
ng
nakalagay.
kung bumili ng panibagong property, yung prenuptial would
It,
on the
it would
first
refer to that. It would refer to that. So the prenuptial agreement would refer to further properties in the future. So
hindi
what
lang yung
you
previous property that was brought in sa
yeah,
marriage, hindi pala.
I would say sa prenuptial,
Oo.
how I draft prenuptial agreement is
Okay.
any other properties from hereafter will be dealt with according kung ano yung napag-usapan nila.
Oy, may tatawag sa dito, Dennis Estrada. Sabi niya, dali ililipat ko lang si attorney kasi nagsa-side view ko eh. Nakikita lang yung kagandahang lalaki ko. Dali lang ha. Okay. Ito.
Bagong-bago pa naman, gupit ka pa naman.
Ito, sabi niya, hindi, correct, sabi ni Edgar, kasi ginawa daw siyang slave ng kanyang misis, tutor, cook, driver, DIY gardener, ayoko nang bagitin yung isa pa, slave lahat. Sabi ni Dennis Estrada, gagawa na ako ng will din. Tatawag ako evening, Kuya Sunny and attorney. Anong tatawag ako evening?
Sige po, yes.
Anong tatawag ng evening? Ano ibig sabihin tatawag ng evening, Dennis? Hindi ko naintindihan tatawag ng evening. Pero ayan ang number na pwede mong tawagan. Pero hindi ka naman pwede. Yan ba, pag tinawagan yan, diretso pa rin sa'yo?
Hindi po talaga.
Anong oras ba bukas ang opisina ninyo?
9 a.m. po. 9
Till
a.m.
5?
Till 5, yeah.
Yeah. So tama yan. Huwag niyo hong tawagan siya ngayon, 9 to 5 ho, no? Pero sa you can email her. Pero bukas wala siya, Thursday ka na niya tawagan kung sakasakali. Or kung
Friday. Wala din ako ng Thursday.
wala ka ng Thursday. Mukhang talagang busy-busy si attorney. Okay. Nako, Sis Mariosep, sabi ni Edgar Duway, salamat sa dagdag knowledge. Si Emmeline Rafael, magkano ba yung magpagawa ng will? Teka muna, tawagan mo na si attorney.
Ano pa?
Oo.
Hindi po yan, sir.
Naku, marami dapat magpagawa ng will dahil kailangan huwag iiwan sa last minute yan dahil, di ba?
No? Sa last minute, yeah.
Oo. Tsaka ma-explain nyo pa sa mga will kung medyo may mga komplikasyon pa yan ito, attorney. May mga maghahabol o may di ba? Oo.
Kung may ganun ba, tama po kayo doon. Actually, kung sa tingin mo, pwede mo explain bakit hindi mo binigyan yung isang tao?
Oo.
Na,
Saan mo explain? Sa sulat o kailangan kausapin mo? Sulat lang dahil ayaw mong kausapin, di ba? Ayaw mo sabihin na ayaw kong bigyan ka ng will. Sulat lang.
Bakit ayaw bigyan? And kung hindi siya financially responsible dun sa tao yon, nakakaano lang para ma-explain mo dun sa tao na ito yung background bakit hindi kita binigyan.
Pero halimbawa, walang asawa na, kunyari nag-iisa, balo na, pero hate niya yung anak niyang babae, pwedeng i-separa sa will yun, di ba?
Pwede po. Pero, as I've said, kung mini-maintain niya yung anak niya yun, pinapadalhan niya every month,
Hindi, kung hindi. Kung baka matagal na sila magkaaway, hindi nagkikita, hindi nag-ano. Pwede bang, bisa, di ba sabi, meron sa mga teleserye o yung mga palabas, di ba, mga Pilipino, pagka sinuway mo ako, tatanggalin kita sa ng mana, mawawala ka ng mana. Pwede ba yun? Totoo ba yun?
Well, as I've said, subject to Inheritance Act, kung mini-maintain niyo yung anak niyo, pinapadalhan niyo, at nasa bahay niyo nakatira, and that's assumption of responsibility. Pero yung sinabi niyo, strange, yung bata, wala ka na hindi mo naman pinapadalhan.
Hindi na kayo nagkikita, galit ka na siguro. Kamukha nagalit si tatay dahil nag-asawa siya doon sa lalaki na ayaw nila. O di lumayas. So hindi na binibigyan sustento. Namatay siya, basta gawa siya ng will. Ayoko mabigyan ng mana yung walang hiyang anak ko na yon. Pwede yun.
Pwede yun. And what I would say, best practice then is maglagay ng explanation.
Explanation pa? Okay.
Parang sabihin na talagang inisip talaga to. Talagang hindi lang to pagkakamali. Hindi ka lang nakalimutan. Talagang inisip to at nagbigay ng legal advice dahil dito. So it's best practice.
Okay.
May nakalagay lang dito. Minsan may nakalagay na letter of instruction explaining yung background bakit hindi nakalagay doon.
Hindi pwede sabihin na I don't want to give that my daughter basta. Parang gano'n lang, hindi po pwede. Pwede rin, di ba? Pero kailangan may konti explanation din na bakit ayaw ko. Di ba? Okay. Okay, so that's good. Malinaw. Uy, si Sharon. Oo, ito. Naku, dumadagdag to mga... Teka muna, ha. Pasensya ka na over... Kasi wala ka ng Thursday, Wednesday, tsaka Thursday. Mag-overtime tayo saglit, ha. Sandali, ha. Ito. Ililipat ko lang. Nakikita yung aking ano, eh. Ayan. Okay. Saan to? Okay, follow-up question. Sabing ganon. Si Lina Regalado. Follow-up question po, attorney. Totoo po ba na need ng will if you have private insurance? Otherwise, pag may na nangyari sa akin or other person sa government, mapupunta ang lahat ng claim sa insurance? O may alam ka ba dyan?
I don't think that's the case kung kasi estate mo pa rin yun and kung wala kang will, mapupunta naman yun, ang ipa-follow nila is intestacy. Ngayon, kung hindi nila mahanap, the problem there is kung hindi nila mahanap yung next of kin mo, dun yung problematic na pwedeng mapunta sa gobyerno. Yung napag-usapan natin, Mr. Sunny, na hindi mahanap yung next of kin. And that's napunta yung sinasabi, bona vakansya ng gobyerno dito. Hence, mas maayos na may will ka. Kung may private insurance ka, kung may property ka, it's always good practice. Kasi sa private insurance, from what I can, life insurance is that may beneficiary, pwede mo ilagay yung beneficiary mo doon, but it's still always good practice na may formal document ka. I don't think it goes straight sa bona vakansya. Hanapin pa rin yung next of kin mo. But siguro yung binibigay lang na warning sa'yo is, paano pag hindi nahanap yung next of kin mo? Paano kung walang document doon, kung nakalagay kung sino yung susunod na ano mo, na beneficiary o na kamag-anak mo. So, I'd say still a good practice. Draft the will.
Okay, mukhang si Edgar Duway, ako kung may masasagot ba itong tanong niya, no? Sabi niya, may binibili siyang condo sa Pinas. Ito siguro yung wife niya. May binibili siyang condo sa Pinas, and if requiring us to be dual citizens, ayaw ko mag-dual citizen. Can she force me? Kasi nasa name namin both ang condo, kahit ayaw ko isama ang name ko. Ano gagawin ko? Pwede bang di ako mag-dual? Ayaw ko kasi ng condo, gusto ko ng house and lot sa Pinas. Makulit kasi. I don't know kung may nasa province mo to. O ano lang. Pwede ba yan? Wala na. Pilipinas yan, ano?
Wala nasa Pilipinas. Kung ayaw mong gawin yung isang bagay, it's entirely up to you. I think the premise of the law is, may free will ka gawin kung ano yung gusto mo.
Okay.
I'm not sure anyone can compel anyone else to be a citizen. However, I think if you are looking at buying, it's entirely up to you. Kung ayaw mong mag-dual citizen, that's entirely your prerogative. I'm not quite sure kung may matutulong pa ako on the legal question. If you're asking kung magkakaroon ng epekto yon sa property nyo, well, you're not going to be on the property, on the name of the property sa Pilipinas. But still, kung married kayo, it's still hindi conjugal yung name namin, it's still a matrimonial property. Kung married pa rin kayo, it's still a matrimonial property. But kung ayaw mong maging dual, that's entirely your prerogative.
Pero attorney, di ba, sabi mo, family law, ano mo rin, hawak mo?
Apa.
So kung gusto mag-divorce ni Edgar at saka ng misis niya, pwede mo hawakan yan?
Pareho ko silang friends sa Facebook.
Hindi, kasi family mo kayo. Baka mukhang gusto yatang mag-divorce nito. Nag-aaway pa, pati sa property lang. But anyway, sandali. Ito, may tanong pa, may mga comment o tanong lang dito. Nagpapasalamat siya na sa'yo, si Lina Regalado, no? Yung nagtatanong kung kung sino pwedeng ma-recommenda sa will, no? Making or will drafting. Maraming salamat po sa inyo, sabi niya. Sabi naman ni Sharon, no? Si Sharon de Guzman Ferrer, no? Sabi niya, yes, it is very important everyone has a will, especially if you have property, money, etc., as it won't necessarily go to the person you had wanted it to go to when you pass away if you don't have one. Ano yan?
Correct. I think she summed it up very, very well.
Ayun.
I think in order to ensure yung mga na-save nyo, napundar nyo, para ma-ensure nyo mabigay sa tao na gusto nyong mabigyan, make a will.
So, kunyari, hindi mo sinusustentuhan, kunyari, anak mo or anybody na may sustento ka, no? pwede mo ibigay mas sa kaibigan mo, kapitbahay mo, anybody? Pwede
For
yun, no?
charity, sabi nga,
For
may
charity.
very legal principle dito. Kung gustong ibigay, ito yung translate ko sa Tagalog, sabi ng law dito,
Hmm.
as long as wala kang sinusustentuhan, kung gusto mo ibigay sa dog's charity, entirely up to you.
Okay. Alright. Pero dog's charity, pero hindi sa dog, no? Kasi kung dog ang bibigyan, hindi. Siguro bibigay mo sa mag-aalaga sa dog, no? Ayun, no? Oo, pero okay yan. Maganda rin kasi pag-usapan yan. Siyempre, di ba, may mga naipundar na. Di ba? Merong mga properties, halimbawa, yung mga mortgage, it took about mga 25 years, halimbawa, 20 years. At the end of that, may property na, no? Yung at the end of the, nabayaran na totally. So, property na yon at nag-appreciate na.
Tsaka tax planning po, mataas ang inheritance tax dito. So, it's not just about yung makakakuha din kayo ng tax planning, inheritance tax planning advice. Kasama din yun sa when they make
A
when
will.
they give you that. So,
Advice, yun, no? Titawagan nyo sila, attorney. Attorney, so,
it's really complicated yung it's kasama normally matatouch upon yung mga bagay na yun. And that's the reason why you go to a professional.
so Friday ka na lang pwedeng makontak, attorney, gano'n ba?
Opo, Friday.
na, Oy, i-save nyo ho, ha? Huwag kayong magmadali, no? Baka hindi pa naman yata kayo mamatay, no? Pa Friday, tawag kayo ng Friday kay attorney para makausap nyo. At kung sino ho gustong siguro may konti kayong, di ba? May 30-minute parang to assess yung kanilang kaso, may libreng free advice ka naman yata, tatawag sila. Tama ba yan? Oo.
Kung hindi niyo po ako ma-reach ng Friday dahil I think may mga back meetings, leave a message we call back. We do call back. So or i-email ko kayo and we can arrange a mutually convenient time. As you know, we do hindi lang lip service, we do give the free consultation and we do try to help.
So they are in good hands sa'yo, attorney, dahil una-una, sabi nga nila, di ba? Pinoy, at mapagkakatiwalaan talaga, matalino, at hindi lang ho siya, abogada, siya ho ang, bago siya ma-promote as partner, bago ka na-promote, you are still, no, the head of litigation, concurrent yun sa being a partner of DV Solicitors, no, ayan. So, pero kung gusto niyo mag-email sa kanya kagad, yan, pwede niya sagutin kagad siguro habang maski nasa biyahe siya, no? Sagutin niya kagad yan. Ayan. Oo. Pero kung gusto niya makausap mismo direkta, sa Friday na ho. Ayan. Kasi
Friday, if hindi masagot, just leave a message, leave an email, tatawag, we'll call back.
Ayan. Wag niyo hong tanongin yung edad ni attorney, no? Dahil batang-bata hong tignan, wag ho. Ayan ho, basta legal matters lang. Okay.
Actually, my age para kasi iniisip nila ano ka ba 12?
Hindi nga, di ba? Ang bata-bata, sabi nga, grabe yung bata nitong abogada natin, grabe, no? Di ba? Pero hindi, matindi to, head of litigation partner. So that speaks a lot about you, no? Di ba? Yun, no? Yun ang mga kumbaga, batang-bata ho siya, pero and yet, maski paano ho, nakikita sa billboard dati sa mga motorway, sa billboard sa mga buses, yung larawan ni Attorney DANNA QUINTO, di ba? Tama yun, Attorney. Makikita nyo sa ating latest issue ng Yes Philippines. Basahin ko lang mga ibang, baka tanong pa ba to? Comment lang. Yan, okay. Sabi ni si Edgar, salamat na marami sa sagot na moi. Ayan, may moi pa siya. Moi. Me will kami dalawa. May will daw silang dalawa. Okay, good. As Dennis Estrada, Attorney, DANNA, sa UK lang po ba yung will o pwede din ba sa Europe ilagay mo ang will din sa mga anak mo? Ewan ko ano yun.
Depende kung may property. Kung yung property sa Europe, what we would say is yung gumawa ka ng separate will dun kung saan ka may property. So that's the best practice. If yung sinasabi mo beneficiary ay nasa ibang bansa, that's slightly different. Pero kung taga-Europe ka at saka taga-Europe yung Europe yung property mo, I think it's best that you get a local lawyer out there.
Local lawyer doon kung saan man yung property na yun. Mapa Spain, mapa France.
Alam yung jurisdiction ng, say for example, Spain.
Yes. Okay.
Mga taga-Malaga. Mga taga-Malaga.
Ayan, oo. Oy, Malaga. Di, ano ba yung isa? Marbella. 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 Marbella.
Paano?
Oo, Marbella. Doon yung parang si King, sino yung hari na, nagpagawa pa ng hospital doon dahil one of the, he lives there, may property siya ron. At nakinabang yung old king ng Saudi, namatay, pero nagpagawa ng hospital and during the time na siya buhay pa, nakikinabang yung mga tao doon sa area na yun, no? Yung 1 mile yun, puro mayayaman na bahay sa Marbella. 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 Ay, teka muna, nagpunta ka ba ng Malaga? Ay, hindi, sandali lang. Malaga, Granada pala yung sinasabi ko. Have you been to Granada?
I've been to El Choro, an hour away from namumundok. Doon po ako namumundok
Ah,
sa
really?
El
Ah.
Choro.
Hindi, kaya ako naman nabanggit kasi yung Granada. Meron silang mountains, yung Sierra Nevada yata
Diba?
yon. Oo.
Kaya po,
Ah,
diba?
it's the best of both worlds kasi you can go skiing in the morning, no?
Yeah.
May snow doon sa taas eh. And then in the afternoon, you can go swimming tuloy. You can go skiing in the morning and go swimming in the afternoon. Saka ba makakakita ng ganong lugar? Pagka nasa mga Switzerland ka, wala ka naman pupuntahan naman ng mga beach doon, di ba? Wala naman. Pero only in Spain na you have snow in the morning or snow,
Yeah.
halimbawa, mag-ski ka and then you can swim in the afternoon, no? Or even, well,
Maganda.
vice versa. Maganda ang
Yeah.
maganda ron.
Kahit ako din po, yeah. One of my favorite places. Yung El Choro. Magkatabi lang po yun. Yung El Choro, yung Granada,
Oh,
tsaka
okay.
yung Camino del Rey. Yung ano mo yung parang may mga malapit ka na sa bangin na doon ka iikot, maglalakad. Tapos naka-ano ka lang, naka-clip
Camino
ka lang
El
po.
Rey, ano yun? Is it between Malaga and Granada? Ganon? Hindi.
I think someone near there. Yeah, kilala ko
Okay,
siya.
okay.
Hindi ko
There's
natin nila doon.
there's
Yeah,
one area, I don't know if you know where you have these hanging houses. I forgot the name eh. Meron parang nagpupunta ka rin ba ng Spain? Do you go around Spain then or what?
Sa El Choro pala, sa Malaga, doon lang po sa may,
Sa Malaga.
sa,
Okay, okay. Well, okay. It's,
sa,
it's nice. Spain is so beautiful, no? If you go all over Spain, maganda eh. Maraming magandang scenic spots, no? Ikaw pala, mahilig ka mag-aakyat. Naakyat mo na ba itong, just sa Scotland? Ano yung Scotland na bundok dyan?
and Nevis pa, apa.
Oo, naakyat mo na?
Yeah.
Kaya bang akyatin?
5 hours yun. Ano na po yun, hiking. 5 hours. Yun din po.
May kilala
maraming
kasi ako,
akyat.
Gininaw eh. Gininaw, hindi na nakatumuloy na parang natakot, bumaba na.
Malamig. Yung umakyat kami summer, July. Pag ano mo sa summit, yung katulad ng sabi niyo po, may ice.
Oo, oo.
Lamig na lamig. Ice pa rin sa taas, Ben Nevis.
So when you go there, kailangan magdala ka ng mga jacket, sweaters, mga ano?
Yeah, layering po talaga. So,
Okay.
we did
Well,
yung 2 weeks.
mahilig ka umakyat, nakakita namin yung mga photos mo. Ano yan? Kailangan ba, kunyari kami hindi ko alam si Edgar Duway, siguro kami nalang sino kamo. Yung mga hindi sanay umakyat, kailangan ba ng training muna? Parang to build stamina to go up the mountain?
I'd say na depende sa base na health nyo. But I would say it's good to do a bit of walking, a bit of exercise bago pumunta doon. And yung gear nyo din po. So, right gear kasi baka yung blister sa atin. Baka ma-blister kayo, yun yung kalaban ng para ma-enjoy nyo. Yun yung important.
Blister sa
Yun yung-
paa? Sa sapatos? Sa paa?
diba? Usual. It's quite usual. It's 5 hours po yun, up and down. So, you have to have the right shoes, right na gear. Yung,
Oo.
kala mo, mainit. Pag-abot mo ng summit, it's freezing. Talaga snow cap po. Snow cap. I wouldn't be surprised. Yung umakyat po ako, nag-4 seasons. So, mainit sa baba. Nag-hailstorm. Tapos pag-abot sa summit, it's very, very cold. It was very, very cold. Tapos mabilis lang, 5 minutes, baba na agad.
So pag 5 hours yung umakyat, 5 minutes ka lang, baba ka uli. So, teka
2.5
muna,
hours.
summertime, mahaba ang araw ng summertime. So, how was it? Umalis pa kayo, medyo madaling araw, 5 o'clock in the morning, 6 o'clock in the morning, paakyat?
I was doing a longer challenge. I was doing 3 peaks po. So, 3 bundok within 24 hours when I did that. I was doing Ben Nevis sa Scotland, and then Scafell Pike sa Lake District, and then Snowdonia sa Wales. So,
Teka muna, teka
yeah,
muna. You went to Ben Nevis, sabi mo, it takes you about 5 hours going up?
5
And then,
hours.
siyempre, paano yung pagbaba rin? Mas mabilis yung mga pababa?
2.5 hours. 5 hours round trip.
Ah,
Round trip
2.5 hours. Abay, kaya pa ng konti. Kala ko 5 hours yung paakyat, tapos 5 hours pababa. Isang araw na na-devote mo ron. Ah, okay. Ano pa ba ang mountain na hindi mo, ano ba ang next na, napunta tayo sa mountains, no? Anong pinaka hindi mo pa naaakyat na medyo doon pa sa bucket list mo dito sa UK?
Marami po sa UK, sa Scotland, tinatawag nila sa mountain is Munro. So, 280 po yung mga Munro na yun. Madami pa po. Madami pa po.
Marami ka ba? Okay. Akala ko naakyat mo na silang lahat, no? Parang naakyat mo na. Hindi pa.
The big mountains, the big mountains na naakyat na pa yung pinakamataas sa Scotland, pinakamataas sa Wales, and may pinakamataas sa England. But marami pa po sa Scotland.
Nung bata ka ba? Mahilig ka ba umakyat sa puno? Mahilig ka umakyat ng puno nung bata ka? Ha? Yan, nag-manifest na, lumakilaki na ang hindi na puno, mga bundok na nga nang inaakyat mo. Okay. But how long have you been doing this? Did somebody influence you? O ikaw on your own, na-influence ka?
Na-influence ako.
Okay.
8 years from my first mountain sa Scotland. So, 2012 ako nag-umpisa. Tagal na rin.
Good. Okay. So when you say gear, is it more of shoes o meron pang gamit na, hindi ka naman yung mga rock climbing, no? Basta climbing lang na mountains?
Yung rock climbing, very novice po ako. Yung mag-ingat po kayo sa rock climbing.
Yun ang may gear talaga. Pero sa sinasabi mo paakyat, anong gear mo? Sapatos lang?
Sapatos,
Oo.
masarap na lunch, tubig.
Ano masarap na lunch? Di ba, sandwich lang siguro dala mo o magluluto ka pa ron?
Sandwich lang po.
Sandwich lang. Okay. Wow, okay. Dami mo nang marami kang expertise sa pag-akyat, expertise sa pagluluto, no? Kompleto. Alam mo ba yung kwento ni Edgar? Kung nakapanood ka ba sa isang program ko last week ba yun? Tungkol sa birthday niya?
Hindi po.
Hindi mo napanood? Hindi, dapat magkita kayo, magsabay kayo dahil si Edgar, hindi, nakwento kasi ni Edgar, kwento ko na lang siguro, mabilis lang. Si Edgar kasi may jinx sa birthday niya. Every time na celebrate yung birthday niya, may namamatay. So at the age of 13, they decided I wouldn't be celebrating my birthday anymore. But eventually, when he was working, nag-insist yata yung kanyang boss na i-celebrate yung birthday niya. So nangyari na naman yung sinasabing jinx because nabundol yung mother niya na naghahatid ng pagkain, yung mga hinandang pagkain, papunta sa opisina to celebrate his birthday. So, yung kanyang wife, kilala mo si Irene, tsaka si, Irene has accepted the fact na they don't have to celebrate birthdays together with the kids and siya, no? Di ba normally, pagka birthdays, it's family time. Pero nga kay Edgar, it's a different situation. May jinx nga eh. Every time you celebrate niya birthday niya with family or may nangyayari, may namamatay. So, he parang nag-offer siya sa Panginoon na siguro, parang yung kanyang birthday, parang communing with the Lord, no? Kung saan man siya nandoon, with his tent, no? Yan, may ikot siya, naglalakad, di ba nga, naglalakad siya, kukunin niya yung basura sa Brighton, kung saan niya, no? May mga trip niya on his birthday, no? So, ganun. May jinx siya eh. Hindi mo na, ngayon, nalaman mo na, no? So, ganyan ang style ni Edgar.
Yun, sige nga, gawin ko din yun sa birthday ko.
Ganun, oo. Pero ikaw naman, okay naman pag nagbe-birthday ka, wala namang problema. Hindi ka mukha ni Edgar. May namamatay, lolo o tiyo, parang mga ganun eh. Kung may mga nanay niya nabundol. Oo, so, kaya ganun. Kaya nga, hindi na niya sineselebrate ang birthday niya. Ayun. With the family or with anybody, no? Solo lang siya. Parang parang my time yon. Me time. Okay, kahanga-hanga talaga si Attorney DQ. Believe ako sa iyo, saludo. And yes, honey, even me na sanay mag-hike, and I do prep myself every time I hike. Wow, 3 picks. Kaya mo yan, Sunny? Hindi nga, kaya nga tinatanong ko. Siguro, ano ba, pinakamadali lang siguro mga 45 minutes, 30 minutes na pwedeng akyatin. Mga hill lang, no? Hills lang muna, no? Di ba, yun ang starting, no? Ha?
Tower Bridge.
Tower Bridge lang. Tower Bridge lang, oo. Mga ganun lang muna siguro. Dahil pagkatapos, dagdagan mo, mataas-taas na after ng Tower Bridge, di ba? Kasi you have to develop your stamina, yung building, di ba? Pag ginulat mo ang sarili mo, wala na, you might give up, no? Hindi mo na, baka yung isang pick lang, mga 3 picks na yan, baka wala pang 1 pick, patay na, no? Okay, attorney. Mm,
Ako, pero ano, na, natitrain naman.
natitrain naman, no? Build your stamina, oh. Tumatakbo ka ba? Ano ba ginagawa mo? You swim, you run? Ano ba mga ginagawa mong mga...
I used to run. Nagma-marathon po ako dati. May marathon pace ako noon.
Used
Ano,
to. Used to. Para ibig sabihin, wala na. Hindi na.
I want to. I still want to. Baka
Oo.
next year kasi pandemic din tayo ngayon eh. But I used to do every year nung
Oo.
ano ko din. So, ano lang din, pantanggal stress, tsaka
Mm.
fundraising. So, I've done a few marathon, tsaka isang ultra marathon po. So,
Okay. Ultramarathon, ha? Okay.
yeah.
Dapat ma-meet mo yung ultramarathoner natin kaso wala na eh. Yung may-ari na Botac shoes sa Pilipinas, Botac mga ba yun? Botac sport something eh. Si Cesar.
Paano babagal po ako, Mr. Sunny? Hindi ako mabilis. Ano lang po ako, talagang, ano ba yung sa atin? Saling ket-ket, saling pusa lang
Saling
ako.
pusa?
Saling pusa lang po. Natutuwa lang akong nasa outdoor.
Hindi,
Saling
buti
pusa
ka,
lang
nakasali ka pa eh. Kami yata, hindi ko alam si Edgar, pero ako siguro baka hindi ko kakayanin. Baka after 5 minutes of running, baka give up na ako, no? Pero at least ikaw, na-experience mo ang marathon and ultra marathon, which is good, no? At least talagang very active ka. No? Ayan. Well, okay, attorney, siguro magpaalam na tayo. Baka meron kang mga mensahe sa ating mga kababayan, shoutouts, baka din si mga taga-Horsham nanonood sa atin or anything, no?
Sa mga tawag namin sa mga Ilonggo sa Horsham. Hello, palakat ako that was, and to the rest of the kababayans in UK, keep safe, keep well. If there are any other questions, just email me d.quinto@dbsolicitors.com or call at 01234-225-188. We're here to help. We're here to look after each other. So, yeah, maraming salamat po, and it's always a pleasure to be here. Thank you.
Ikaw ba, attorney, I don't know, kung subukan bumibili ng, I don't know, wine sa mga news agents or maski saan, ikaw ba hinahanapan ka pa ng ID mo?
Always, yeah.
Hinahanapan? Okay.
Bumili ako ng disposable na cutlery, hinanapan ako ng ID.
Really? Wow. Kita mo nga naman talaga, no? Siguro pag umabot ka na 60 years old, attorney, para ka lang mga 30 years old, no? Di ba?
Salamat.
Siguro, does it run in the family? It runs in the family siguro, no? Nasa genes ninyo?
Ewan ko po, hindi ko po alam. Nakatulong yung pamumundok. Nakakatulong siguro yun.
Okay.
Nakakatulong.
Naku, marami. Baka hindi lang legal advice at tanong sa'yo. Baka tanong pa sa'yo how to stay young and beautiful and smart, no? Ang ating mga listeners, viewers. Okay, well, attorney, thank you very much. Napasarap yung kwentuhan natin, ba? Sobra-sobra ang ating oras, no?
Sorry,
We'd like to, hindi, okay lang. We nag-enjoy naman sila, no? We'd like to thank everybody, no, doon sa mga nagtanong at nag-join in ho sa atin, no? So, we will do this again next week. Kung meron ho kayong mga tanong na baka hindi na naihabol na at hindi na nagpapaalam na ho kami, for next week ko, i-reserve ho ninyo. At andito naman si Attorney Dana para sagutin yung mga questions ninyo, no? At yan, no? We appreciate having Attorney Dana and informing us and educating us on matters about the law dito sa United Kingdom. Okay, so lagi ho kayong makikinig, no? Parang nas ganun, may malaman kayo, may mapulot kayo, maski paano, probably kung lagi kayo nakikinig, may maalala kayo, and one day masasabi nyo, ito, at least alam ko to, na pakinggan ko kay Attorney Dana, pero kung gusto niyang linawin, tawagan nyo, no? Ganyan, tawagan sa attorney. Okay, Attorney Dana, we'll see you again on next Tuesday, next week, no? At para sa ating programang Legal Advice Corner. Ako naman ho, I'll see you tomorrow night for the Wednesday edition ho ng The Sunny Laragan Show. So till then, no, kami ni Attorney Dana ay nagsasabing thank you very much and we'll see you again next time. Bye!
Thank you. See you next time. Bye-bye. Good night.